Our 2 months intensive retreat is going smoothly. All yogis are getting good results from this continuous practice. In the practice of meditation, you very careful not to add anything, the unreal objects, and not to take anything real from the objects. Kaya kaya nupasi viharati. You are contemplating the body in the body. You contemplate or keep yourself mindful of the body in the body. Here the word kaya kaya nupasi, body is repeated to make sure that you contemplate the body in the body, not in the feeling, not in the consciousness, not in the Dhamma, not in the person. During sitting, you notice sitting, you contemplate only the body in the body. Sitting, rising, falling, you contemplate, you capture stiffness, tension, movement. That is Vayodhatu, real kaya, real rupa. Stretching, bending your limbs. You contemplate the kaya, the body, lightness, heaviness, movements. It is not the person. It is not the feeling, etc. It is just body in the body. So when you contemplate body in the body, that is when you make yourself aware of everything that is in the body. You must do it ardently, clear, comprehending, and mindful. That means you must be energetic, put forth effort to be mindful, or you watch whatever in the body. So ardent refers to the energy or effort you invest. Without effort, you cannot keep your mind on the object, you cannot meditate on the body. So a certain amount of energy or effort is needed to practice meditation. It is not an easy thing to keep your mind on the object, on the body. So effort is a requirement for the practice of meditation. 2 months you diligently practice, ardently practice. When you practice meditation, you must always be mindful. You must be mindful of your breath, the movements of your abdomen, the different deportments and small activities of the body. Mindfulness is something like a stone hitting a wall. In order to throw a stone, you must put out energy. You throw the stone with energy and it hits the wall. Like the stone hitting the wall, your mindfulness hits the object, hits the body. whatever the objects are, the breath or the movements of the abdomen or the activities of the body. Your mind, as it were, goes to these objects. So your hitting of the object or hitting of the body is mindfulness. When you have mindfulness combined with energy, your mind stays with the object for some time. The stone, after hitting the wall, when it's a wet mud wall, stay with the wall. It gets stuck in the wall. In the same way, your mind goes to the object, and when it is held by energy and mindfulness, stay with the object. The staying of the mind with the object is what we call concentration. So when you have mindfulness, you will achieve concentration. Only when you have developed concentration, you will have wisdom and understanding of the true nature of Namarupa, mind and matter. So you must have the ability not to add anything the unreal object and not to take anything from the object. That means you are able to take the object as it is without adding anything of your own. Today we have to listen the difference between the understanding of meditators and that of those who do not practice meditation regarding walking, sitting, regarding the body. There are some people, they said, you have to know I'm going when I'm going. This is Buddha words. It is just ordinary. Everybody knows that he is going when he is going. And they say, even animals, fox, dogs, they know they are going when they are going. If knowing I am going when I am going is said to be meditation, then they said, we are meditating too. Although we do not sit down like you, we do not go to the meditation center and meditate. Still, we are meditating because in daily life we know we are going when we are going. So they look down the words of the Buddha. Buddha said, when you sit, you have to know sitting. You have to know sitting. When you walk, you have to know walking, etc. So the reply to such people is that there is a big difference between the understanding of those who do not practice meditation and the understanding of those meditators who practice vipassana meditation. Big difference. In order to this explanation, actually this explanation was given in the ancient commentaries So in order to understand this, first you need to understand what is walking and what is moving. What are involved in what we call a movement. According to Abhidhamma, nothing moves. So there is nothing that moves, whether it is nama or rupa, whether it is mind or matter. It disappears at the place it arises. So whether it is mind or matter, it does not move. So there is no movement at all according to Abhidhamma. But we are moving our bodies, we are moving our hands and legs and so on. It is not easy to accept that there is no moving. Because there is moving, we are moving all the time. But on the ultimate analysis, there is no moving. There are only stale things, stale mind and matter. But mind and matter arise and disappear in so rapid succession that we think that there is movement. We can take the analogy of a moving pictures in the moving film. Let us assume you go to a cinema and you watch a movie. When you watch a movie, do you see moving pictures on the screen? You don't. If you think the pictures on the screen are moving, just look at the movie film. There are frames on the film. In each frame, there is a pictures. A pictures one in first frame, it is just a tiny little bit different from the pictures in the second frame. There is very small, almost imperceptible difference. But when they put the film in the projector is made to project 36 frames a second. We get the illusion that they are moving. But actually, the pictures of frame number 1 is projected. It does not move, but it disappears immediately after it is projected. And then next moment, the pictures of the frame number 2 also is projected on the screen. It does not move, and then disappear again. But we are not so quick, our vision is not so quick, that we are unable to see the individual pictures come and go. What we see is we conjured up in our minds the movement because we retain the pictures we saw a moment ago and connect it with the pictures we now see. So there is an illusion of movement, but actually there's no movement at all, just the individual pictures appearing one after another in rapid succession. It is just about 36 frames a second. According to Abhidhamma, it is said that billions of thought moments arise and disappear. When we want to make a movement, first there is the intention in our mind to make that movement. We want to move, that is why there is movement. So first, there is the mental activities in our mind. Mental activities as desire, as intention. So we want to move. That mental activities produce Chittaja Rupa, material properties. Now you want to move, that activities, that desire may last for 1 or 2 seconds. During these 1 or 2 seconds, billions of thought moments arise and disappear. Billions of thought moments create billions of material properties. They are called Vayodhatu, wind elements, or air elements. There are 4 essential elements among the material properties. During the practice of meditation, you discover many things. They are elements of earth, elements of water, elements of air, and elements of fire. What is produced when we have the intention to move? It is the elements of air, and billions of particles of elements of air are produced, and also billions of old air elements disappear. So some disappear and some arise new. That creates illusion in our mind that we move or we are moving. But actually what we call moving is just the increase in the material properties of air elements in our body. That is what we call movement. In this movement, in this something, what we call movement, meditator do not find any abiding entity. You do not find any person or any soul. So first, we must understand this, what we call them, mechanism of moving. First, there is the intention. And the intention produces air elements. And it mentioned air elements produce what is called kaya vinyati, bodily intimation. Bodily intimation means movement. And moving forward of the whole body by the diffusion of the air elements caused by mind is called going. Now when people say they also know they are going, when they are going, do you think that they really know the going? Now we can examine. Maybe those people know sometimes, even they know very superficially. They know means they are aware of that they are They are walking in a very superficial way. You met that man on the sidewalk and asked him, what are you thinking at that moment? Probably he is thinking of something else other than the walking. He may be thinking of his home. He may be thinking of the problems. He may be thinking of his families and other things. But very rarely you will find a man who is thinking of his walking or who is aware of his walking. So their understanding is very shallow. All meditators know when you practice walking meditation, you're very, very serious to be mindful of the walking, but between them, some missing are there. So the understanding of the people who do not practice is very shallow, and their understanding is with the view that they are persons and they are the same persons as they were a moment before. So the understanding of the people who do not practice meditation cannot be called Kammatthana meditation, because meditation defined as the work of development, which is the cause of further development. That is Kammatthana, Bhavana Kammatthana. It is a work of development which is the cause for other development. So these people who do not practice meditation, their understanding cannot cause further development, so their understanding cannot be called meditation. When they say they know, they do not know every time the intention to go and the material phenomena that moves arise, they don't know. So every time the intention arises and the material phenomena arise, they don't know. They may know very infrequently or sometimes only. They do not know intention and matter separately. When they say they know I'm going when I'm going, what they say is mind and matter together. They do not see mind and matter separately from one another. Those people who do not practice meditation cannot distinguish mind from matter and matter from mind. They take themselves as a whole, one whole unit, solid person. They do not know separately the intention which is mind and the movement which is matter. They don't know Namarupa separately. And they do not know that the successive movements arise due to successive moments of intention. Even though intention may last for 1 or 2 seconds, there are billions of moments of intention. These billions of moments of intention arise one after another. So they arise in a very rapid succession. Due to the arising of very rapid successions of intention, there is the successive movement. They do not know in that way, and they do not know that there are only two things at a time: successive intention and successive movement, and another. They do not know that there is just the intention and the movement itself. They think that there is some other things which is permanent as a person or as a soul and so on. And they do not see for themselves that successive intention and successive movement arise and disappear at the very moment. At the very moment they arise, they disappear. Next moment there is another pair of intention and movement, or intention and material properties. They do not see that successive intention and successive movements arise and disappear at every moment, section by section, link by link, part by part. They do not see that. And they do not reach to the next moment of intention and arising movement. So one pair of mind and matter arise and then disappear. It does not exist until the next moment. At this moment they arise, at this very moment they disappear. Next moment there is a new pair of mind and matter. They do not know in this way. What they say they know is just very superficial knowing, and even that they know is just once a while. They don't know all the time. So their understanding is very superficial and very different from the understanding of meditators who practice meditation continuously. So when you practice vipassana meditation, you pay close attention to what is happening at the present moment. You pay attention on the lifting, moving, pushing forward and shifting. So there is a moving forward. When you apply mindfulness to these activities, and when your concentration getting strengthened, then you come to see the movements of walking or whatever in their true perspective. That is, those who meditate know every time the intention to go and the material phenomena that move arise because you are watching closely. Since you are watching closely, since you are paying attention, you see the intention arise, and then every time the intention to go in the material that move arise. Every time they arise, you know, then you know intention and matter separately. So now, those people who practice meditation know that there is intention and the movement that is separate or distinct from the intention. They are two different things, not one mixed with the other. This also you come to know through your practice of mindfulness and through attainment of samadhi or concentration. You know that successive movements arise due to successive moments of intention. These movements arise due to the successive moments of intention. Because there are successive moments of intention, there are successive movements arising. If moments of intention no longer arise, there is no moving, there will be no moving at all. Suppose you want to move and you make notes of intention to move. If that intention really disappears, you may not move because there is no intention now. So when there is no intention, there is no moving. This also you come to know through your concentration. And then you know that there are only two things at a time: successive intention and successive movement, and none other. So when you pay real close attention to the walking, sitting, etc., you come to see that there are only two things at the time of walking, sitting, etc. The intention that produces material properties and the successive movement. Just these two things, and nothing over and above these things, which we can call a person or a being or a man or woman or a soul. When you pay attention to the intention and successive movement, you will not fail to see that they arise and disappear at every moment. They arise bit by bit, link by link, part by part, second by second. Although they seem to be connected, actually they are not connected. They are just different segments or different parts, but one close to the other. Maybe we can take the line of termites. When you look at them from a distance, you think that there is a line of termites there, but actually there is no line of termites there, just the termites. When you go close and look at the individual termites, you lose the view that there is a line of termites. Just the individual termites at a given point. At every point, there is a different, a separate termites. In the same way, at a given point, in the moment, there is a new or separate pair of mind and matter. They arise and disappear bit by bit, segment by segment. This also meditator sees when you pay close attention to what's happening at the moment, and also when you get concentration. When you know with the difference to three questions. Three questions in the ancient commentaries. Ko Gijiti, Kasa Gamana, Kenkarana Gijiti. Three questions. who goes, whose going is it, why does he go? So 3 questions from the commentaries. Can you follow me? Who goes? Whose going is it? Why does he go? Who goes? Whose going is it? Why does he go? So you practice very diligently and you have to sincerely answer the 3 questions. Ko Gichati, who goes? Kasagamanan, whose going is it? Kenkarana Gichati, why does he go? So the first question, who goes? A person goes, is a question. And you have to sincerely answer, no living being or a person whatsoever. There is just mind and matter arising and disappearing. In the ultimate analysis, you do not find anything, any living beings there, just mind and matter arising and disappearing, performing their respective function. So commentary asks, who goes? You answer, nobody goes. No living beings, no person whatsoever. And the second question, Kasagamanan, whose going is it? You have to sincerely answer, nobody's is going. Since there is nothing we can call a person, the going is not the person properties or that person properties. So whose going is it? If you ask, you have to answer, not the going of any living beings or a person or an atta. And the next question, why does he go? On what account does he go? You have to sincerely answer, because of the diffusions of air elements caused by mind. On account of diffusions of air elements, you are said to go. But actually, does he go? Does he move? Conventionally, he does, but in ultimate sense, he does not go. Because even there is no he, there is no she, just mind and matter. When you know the correct answer to 3 questions, you are said to understand the movement and you are said to understand the action according to reality. When meditators see this way, you understand that when we say I go or he goes, it is just for the sake of convenience of usage. We have to use these terms, I go, he goes, and so on, for the sake of usage, for the sake of convenience in communicating to each other. Because we cannot say mind and go, mind and matter go, mind and matter sit, mind and matter stand, and so on. We have to use I, you, he, designating a person, and so on. But in reality, there is no person, there is no man, no woman, just the mind and matter, nama and rupa. In the acts of going, just the intention and the diffusion or increase of air elements. These air elements are those that originated in the mental activities. And there are some verses at the end of the commentary, but they are translated as a prose here. It mentioned that just as a ship goes by the force of wind, just as an arrow goes by the force of bowstring, so goes this body driven by wind, that is air elements caused by mind. So a ship goes by the force of wind, and arrows goes by the force of bowstring. In the same way, this body goes by the force of what we call air elements. The air elements which is originated by mental activities. Just as a puppet goes, stands, and sits, motivated by the force of strings, so does this body, motivated by the strings of mind, go, stand, and sit. So a puppet has a string attached to it, and by pulling the string, a man can make it look like dancing and so on. So it goes, it stands, it sits by the force of the strings attached to it. In the same way we move. Our body go, our body stands, our body sits, motivated by the strings of mind. When we don't want to go, we do not go. When we don't want to walk, we do not walk, and so on. So who is there in this world that can, without causes and condition, by his own power, sit or go? So can you sit without the intention to sit? Can you go without the intention to go? No. It is how meditators understand going, sitting, standing, stretching, bending, etc. So you are reminding yourself every day, kaya kaya nupasi viharati. You have to understand these kaya, these vedana, etc. every time. So meditators understand going and other activities. That is when you practice meditation and when you apply mindfulness to what is happening at the present moment. Even meditators may lose this kinds of understanding when you do not meditate. When you are away from meditation for a long time, the understanding of a yogi and the understanding of an ordinary person, understanding of those who do not practice meditation, is poles apart. It is quite the opposite. Those people who do not practice think that there is a person, there is an individual, there is man or woman, etc. But those meditators who practice know that there is no person, just mind and matter, go rolling on and on, doing their respective function. So you all are very fortunate to discover the true nature of mind and matter, and it is a way to be free from suffering. So this correct and deep understanding meditators can get just by paying attention to what is happening at the present moment. You don't need an expensive machine as an instrument to discover this. So you just need mindfulness. You just need to use mindfulness as a tool to discover the secret of what we call walking, pulling, sitting, and so on, or what we call movement. So according to Abhidhamma, there is nothing that moves, and you can verify that statement by knowledge through your personal experience. In order to get this kinds of knowledge, you all need to practice vipassana or satipatthana meditation precisely and diligently. You are practicing satipatthana meditation for 2 months, and you may have obtained this knowledge. And even if you have not, you surely get this knowledge in this retreat. So try your best diligently, and your practice is getting momentum. So we have to stop our discourse for today by practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.